Today's word is abandon.
So, coming to the first word of our series, that is abandon. Abandon can be used as a verb and as a noun. Okay, if we are using abandon as a verb, we can say the meaning in that particular context is to leave completely and finally. Or if we are giving up on something, we can say that we are abandoning on that particular thing. Let us take one example. Her mother has abandoned her at an early age. To abandon a child. Or if the ship is sinking and you have just got out or you have just jumped out of that ship, we can say that to abandon a ship. Let us continue. To give up, to discontinue or withdraw from. Suppose let us take an example. If you are working on a research project and if you are just leaving it in the middle, we can say that you are abandoning that project. Let us continue further. To give up the control of, we can understand this by this particular example. To abandon a city to an enemy army. Okay, suppose an enemy army has attacked a particular city and we are just the general of that particular city or the mayor of that particular city has given up to that particular army, and so we can say that we are abandoning the city to the particular army. Coming to the next thing, to yield without restraint or moderation, give oneself over to natural impulse, usually without self-control. Suppose let us understand this with the example. Suppose something bad has happened to a particular person and he is just remorsing the whole day. We can say he has abandoned oneself to grieve. Okay, now coming to the next part, if we are using this as a noun, so we can say that to complete surrender to natural impulse without restraint or moderation, freedom from inhibition or conventionality. I will make you understand with a particular example. Suppose a girl, or if you are immersed in your work with so much dedication that you just forgot about everything around you, we can say that you are just abandoned everything or you are just doing what you love. So to dance with reckless abandon, she is dancing that she has forgot everything around her. Or she sings and sways with total abandon, that she sings and sways with total abandon means she just sing with total dedication, she just forgot everything around her. Okay, now if we are learning a particular word, we have to understand there are some words that are similar and some words that are to opposite of that particular word. So similar word we can say synonyms. Okay, so some synonyms are there to the word abandon, that is desert, discard, discontinue, ditch, drop out, dump, leave, pull out, quit, stop, surrender, vacate, and withdraw. Coming to the next thing, that if we are having synonyms, we have some antonyms also that are having opposite meaning as to the particular word. Okay, so some antonyms are there: advance, allow, continue, hold, keep, maintain, persevere, and remain. Okay, so this is the particular word abandon, which means to leave or to discontinue or to give up on something.
You can download the infographics from our Telegram channel. Today's word is ability.
So today's word is ability. Ability is a noun and its meaning is competence in an activity or occupation because of one's skill, training, or other qualification. Suppose someone has achieved some skill because of some training or qualification, we can say that he has that ability. Example or usage, we can say the ability to sing well. Okay, coming to the next part, abilities, talents, special skills, or aptitude. Okay. If someone is having some special skill or talent, we can say that he is having that particular ability. Or we can use this word in negative sense also, as in this example, composing music is beyond his abilities, that he is not able to compose the music. Okay, now let's move on. Power or capacity to do or act physically, mentally, legally, morally, financially, etc. Okay, you have understood this particular thing. Suppose someone is having a power or capacity to act on certain situations, we can say that he is having that ability. Okay, now coming to the synonyms and antonyms of this particular word: capability, capacity, competence, intelligence, qualification, skill, strength, talent, understanding, and aptitude. These are some of the synonyms of this particular word. Now, the antonyms, that means the opposite of these particular words, are ignorance, importance, inability, incapability, incapacity, incompetence, inaptness, and lack. Now, I have written something here. There is a word that is able, and it is having exactly the same meaning as ability, but it is adjective. In case if we are using this particular word as adjective, is able, so it is having exactly the same meaning. Let us see the meaning: having necessary power, skill, resource, or qualification, or qualified. Okay, so let us take an example: able to lift a 200-pound weight. That means if a person is having this particular ability, that is, he is able to lift 200 pound. Next thing, able to write music, or able to write songs, able to write article, able to write novel, able to write stories. Okay, able to travel widely, able to vote. We are reaching a particular age of 18, and then we are able to vote only. Okay, now coming to the second part: having unusual or superior intelligence, skill, etc. That means he or she is having a special skill, that he or she is doing that particular work very well. Okay, so we can say that he is able, like an able leader, showing talent, skill, or knowledge. If someone is showing a particular skill or knowledge, some special skill or knowledge, we can say that he is having that ability. And suppose a person is very well and very good in speech, so we can say that an able speaker, or he is able to give a particular a good speech. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll meet in our next session. Thank you.
So today's word is about.
So today's word is about. About can be used as an adjective, as adverb, or as a preposition. So, as you all know, preposition is a word that normally come before the noun, and it express a relation to another word in a clause or element in that clause, such as the man on the platform, or she arrived after dinner. Okay, so let us see how we can use, or what is the meaning of about with respect to preposition. So here, of, concerning, in regard to. Let us see the usage: instruction about the word. Suppose a teacher has given some instructions regarding to an assignment, so we can say that the teacher has given the instruction about the assignment. Or the second example, about a book about the civil war. Suppose we are having a book, and the book mentions something specific, so we can say that a book about that particular incident, or a book about civil war. Coming to the next thing, connected or associated with. We can use about when we are referring something, we are referring something about someone, such as there was an air of mystery about him. Okay, now coming to the second part, if we are in case of adverb, what is the meaning of about? So, or how we are using about as an adverb. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, such as he sings loudly. An adjective, that is, he is very tall. So you can understand that how what is an adverb. Now, if we are using about as an adverb, we can see what is the meaning with respect to that. Near in time, number, degree, etc. Near in time, degree, number, and etc. Or approximately. So let us understand this with this particular example. It's about 5 miles from here. That we are saying that it is about 5 miles from here. That we are calculating the distance. Okay, we are using this particular constraint with respect to time, with respect to degrees, or if we are referring something that is very approximate, so we can use about here. Next, if we are referring something that is about to happen, or something that is almost or about to be ready, so we can use about, just such as dinner is about ready, that is dinner is just going to be prepared. Okay, now coming to the third part, that is adjective. So an adjective is that word that describes the noun or pronoun, such as old, such as green, such as cheerful. Okay, so it is an adjective. Now, if we are using about as an adjective, how we can use it? So here, moving around or astir. Let us understand with this with the help of an example. He was up and about while the rest of us still slept. That means he is already up and he is just moving here and there, uh, while we all are just sleeping, and he is just moving here and there. Okay, now in existence, current, or prevalent, something that is going on nowadays, we can say that we are using about in the form of adjective, such as chicken pox is about. That means here chicken pox is about means chicken pox is currently going on. Okay, now coming to the words, there are some words that are closely related to about. They are sometimes there are synonyms, sometimes there are antonyms, but there are something that some words are directly very closely compared to about, such as about to, approximately, and around. So that's it for today, and we will meet in our next lecture. Thank you. So today's word is above. Above can be used as a preposition, as an adverb, or as an adjective. Let us see how we can use above as an adjective. As you all know, adjectives are the words that describe a noun or pronoun, such as old, green, cheerful, etc. Now, in case of adjective, the meaning of above is said, mentioned, or written above, or foregoing. Suppose you have written a particular article and you have explained a concept in a paragraph, and now you are concluding, and in your conclusion part you can say, based on the above mentioned concept, I am concluding this. Okay, such as in this example, the above explanation. Or if you are giving some speech and at the end you want to say something, that based on the above mentioned things, I am concluding this. Okay, coming to the next part. So next part is preposition. As you all know, preposition is a word, a group of words that is used before a noun, pronoun, or a phrase to show direction, time, place, location, or establish some relationship between in the clause. So now we can understand what is the meaning of above with respect to preposition. In, or to a higher place than. Over, to fly above the clouds. The floor above ours. We are mentioning the location. We are mentioning the location here. Okay, now more in quantity or number than, such as all girls above 12 years of age. We are excluding the girls that are below the age of 12. We are only just taking into consideration the girls that have the age of 12 years or above. Okay, now in excess of, suppose I have taken a threshold of 1 ton, and if I got something higher than that, I will say the weight is above a ton. Or if I taking a threshold of 10 kg, and if I got 11 kg, or if I got 12 kg, or if I've got 10.5 kg, I would say the weight is above 10 kg. Okay, Next part is adverb. As you all know, an adverb is a word that modifies a verb such as he sings loudly, an adjective such as very tall, or as an adverb or modifies an adverb ended too quickly. This is an adverb. Now, if we are now we have to understand what is the meaning of above with respect to adverb. In, at, or to a higher place. Suppose something is present above your height, we can say that that is above, that is placed above, overhead, upstairs, or in the sky. If we are referring something that is present at a higher position, we can say that place is above. Such as my brother lives in the apartment above. So if I am referring to my brother and he is living in an apartment to a higher place, I will say my brother lives in an apartment above. A flock of birds circle above. I am pointing to the sky and I'm saying that a flock of birds just is circling above in the sky. So I am not saying the sky, but I am referring actually to the sky already. Okay. Higher in rank, authority, or power. Let us understand this with this particular example. She was told to speak to the person above. Suppose I am having some problem and the person sitting in front of me is saying that you should meet my higher official to discuss this problem. I am not able to solve this. So we can say here she was told to speak to the person above. Here above means the person of higher rank or higher authority or higher power. Okay. Now coming to the last part, that is other words for above. So there are some words that are having very similar meaning as above, such as raised, high, over, overheard, overhead, and superior. So that's it for today, and we will meet in our next session. Thank you.
Synonyms. So today's word is abroad. Abroad can be used as an adverb or as noun. Let us see how we can use abroad as noun. As you must know that noun is the name of person, place, animal, or thing. And if you want to use abroad as noun, we have to understand it in this way. A foreign land or land. Something that is known to us, that is okay. That is our homeland. And the land that is away or that not comes under our boundary, we call that foreign land. And in case of noun, we refer to as a foreign land or lands. Let us understand this with this example. Imports from abroad. Abroad here means that we are importing some goods or services from the different country that is not comes under our territory or our boundary. Okay. So coming to the second part, how we can use abroad as adverb. As you know, adverb is a word or phrase that modifies or qualifies adjective, word, or other adverb, expressing a relation of place, time, circumstances, manner, cause, degree, etc., such as gently, quiet, then, there, etc. So, if we are using abroad as adverb, how we can use it? In or to a foreign country or countries. We can normally refer foreign countries, foreign continents as abroad, such as famous at home and abroad. If you are suppose I am very good at preparing something, and my recipe, suppose I am a cook and my recipe is famous at my home, suppose India, and in abroad, Nepal, America, and some other countries. So I would say My recipe is famous at home and also in abroad. In or to another continent. As I had already said, we can refer normally abroad to countries, different countries and continents. So, in this example, shall we go to Mexico or abroad this summer? Suppose I am asking to my father or someone else that shall we go to Mexico? I am suppose in this particular example, suppose I am living in some other place or in America, and I am saying that shall we go to Mexico or abroad? Here, abroad means different continent. Abroad means different continent. Okay. Third, out of doors, from one place to another and about. Let's understand this with this particular example. No one was abroad in noonday heat. Here, abroad means out of home or out in the sun. Okay, out of the doors means out of the home. So, no one was abroad in the noonday heat. Abroad can also be used when we are referring something that is moving from one place to another. Suppose, such as the owl ventures abroad at night. Here, abroad means moving from one place to another. And if you recall the last lecture about this word, about, about sometimes, or in case of adverb, also means moving here and there. Okay, so you also have to revise your words daily so that you can you should not forget that. Now, next, spread around, in circulation. Suppose there is a news, suppose good news, suppose a bad news or some rumor, so they are going on nowadays, everybody is talking about them, so we can say this news is abroad or in circulation. Rumors of disaster are abroad. That means the rumors of disaster is in circulation or everybody is talking about it nowadays. Okay, next. So there are some words that are closely related to abroad. Let us see. Away, elsewhere, overseas, in foreign lands, in foreign parts, out of the country. So that's it for today. But before ending the session, I would like you to write your own sentence using this word and post it in the comments below. I want you to do this because if you write your own sentence using this word, you will not forget this word, the meaning of this word. Okay, thank you.
So, today we are going to talk about a word that we normally use and hear, that is absence. Absence is a noun, and I hope you already know what a noun is. A noun is a name of person, place, animal, or thing. Okay, so let us see how we can use absence as noun. State of being away or not being present. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are sitting in a classroom and whenever teacher enters the classroom and he wants to take your attendance, so he would say a name of a particular student, and we normally say yes sir, present sir, yes ma'am, present ma'am. So the teacher marks his present. But what about the student that is not present in the classroom? He is absent. He or she is absent, and his absence is marked on the record. Okay, coming to this usage, I act as supervisor in his absence. Suppose a person is ill or is not present or has gone out for some days, so in his absence, someone has taken the charge of that particular post and he is acting at that post. And if someone has asked, so he is saying, I acted as supervisor in his absence. Okay, now your absence was noted on the record. I have just given an example of a particular student who is not present, so his absence is marked. Next, period of being away. If a person is not available at the moment, or he is out of station for some time, we would say his absence is marked, or he is absent. Okay, an absence of several weeks due to any circumstance, whether he is ill or whether he has gone for holidays, I would say he is absent. Failure to attend or appear when expected. Suppose your best friend has a birthday, his birthday party, and he is expecting you to come in the party, but you didn't show up, so you have been absent in that party, and your absence is noted. Okay, failure to attend or appear when expected. Next, lack, deficiency. You will understand these words in our later sessions, but let me give you a brief hint. Lack, when there something is not present, or deficiency, when there is something that is present in very less quantity. Okay, we would say lack or deficiency. Or when something is not present, we would definitely use these two words. Okay, the absence of proof. I will give you an example. Suppose there is a policeman, or there is a lawyer, and he is just presented some points to the in front of the judge, and he asks for the verdict to punish the particular criminal, but the judge said that there is the absence of proof, or a solid proof is not present, so I can't give the verdict against him. Okay, so the absence of proof. Next, inattentiveness, preoccupation, absent-mindedness. Suppose I will give you an example of the classroom again. Suppose a teacher is teaching something on the whiteboard or blackboard, whatever, and there is a student, backbencher mostly, and he is just watching outside that window, and the teacher is calling his name, but he is not listening. Okay, we would say that student is absent-minded or inattentive, or he just preoccupied. Absence of mind. Okay, now there are some words that are closely related to absence. Those are deficiency, drought, lack, omission. And there are some words that are opposite, that have the opposite meaning as absence. They are present, enough, plenty, sufficiency, and existence. So that's it for today, and I would like you to write a sentence using this word and post it in the comments below. Thank you. So today's word is absolute. Absolute can be used as noun and as an adjective. So let us see first how we can use absolute as a noun. As you all know, noun is the name of person, place, animal, or thing. But in this case today, if we are talking about absolute as a noun, we are talking about an idea about something that is complete or that is free from imperfection. Let us see, something that is not dependent upon external condition for existence. In case of noun, we are talking about something that does not depend on external condition or external parameters for its existence or for its specific nature or size. Okay, now if we are talking about specific, if we are talking about something that is specific, we use the in front of it and the absolute. Now if the absolute means we are talking about something that is very specific, so that something that is free from any restriction or condition. I have already told you, we are talking about something that is free from any rules and regulation or restriction or condition, something that is independent of some or all relation
we are talking about a person that is
free from all relation. We are talking about a person that is free from all relation. Okay, something that is perfect or complete. So normally we just if we want to understand the concept behind absolute, we are talking about noun, but when normally we use this word as an adjective. So as you all know, adjective describes the noun or pronoun such as tall, such as old. Okay, so now we have to understand how we can use absolute as an adjective. Free from imperfection, complete, perfect. Let us understand with this particular example absolute liberty. Liberty means free from any restrictions, rules. That means we are free. But if I am using this word alone, it might be possible that there are some hidden rules and regulation, hidden restrictions. But if I use absolute in front of it and I am using this I am using these two words together. I am saying these two words together. That means there are no hidden rules and regulation or restrictions. Okay, that means here complete liberty is given. Complete liberty means no rules, no regulation, no restriction. You are absolutely free. But in case of in case if I am using this word alone, it might be possible that there would be some restrictions or regulations. Okay, next, not mixed or adulterated or pure. We can use this word absolute in case if we are talking about something, if we are talking about something that is pure. Okay, something that is not mixed with other elements or something that is not adulterated, such as absolute milk. So absolute milk means 100% content is of milk only, not even a single drop is of water is present. Okay, next, complete, outright. Let us understand with this example an absolute lie. Suppose I know the whole condition, and if I ask someone and he is just telling a lie, so I can say that you are telling an absolute lie. That is this is not the case. Okay, an absolute denial. Absolute denial means if I ask somebody to do some work and he just deny it and he is not going to do that particular thing, that means that is an absolute denial. Okay, or if I am asking something to somebody and he is not responding to me, and I know that he is in future also he is not going to respond to me, I would say it is an absolute denial. Free from restrictions or limitations, not limited in any way. That means suppose I am according to this example, absolute command or power. So suppose I am a general of some army, and the government of that particular country give me the absolute power. Absolute power means I am not bound to give answers to anybody if I take some action. Okay, that means I have the absolute command and absolute power. Okay, now let us see some synonyms and antonyms of this word absolute. Complete, full, infinite, outright, pure, sheer, simple, unadulterated, unconditional, unlimited, unqualified, utter. These are the synonyms. That means these words are having same meaning as absolute. Now let us see some antonyms also. Bounded, conditional, incomplete, indefinite, limited, needy, qualified, uncertain, unfinished. So these are some of the antonyms, and these are having opposite meaning as absolute. So that's it for today, and I would like you to write a sentence using this word and post it in the comments below. Thank you. Today's word is absorb. Absorb is a verb, and as you know, a verb is a word that is used to describe an action, state, or occurrence. So let us see how we can use
absorb as a verb. To suck up or drink in a liquid. Soak up. Let us understand with this example, a sponge absorbs water. So we are talking about something that has the capacity to drink or that has the capacity to soak up. Okay, so we can use absorb with that particular context. Next, to swallow up the identity or individuality of or incorporate. So let me give you an example. Suppose this is a big nation and there are some small nations around it. So the king of this particular big kingdom waged a war on these particular small kingdoms, and when that king defeated all these small kingdoms, it incorporated all of these kingdoms into one single kingdom. So we can say that the king has or the empire has absorbed many small nations. Okay, next, to involve the full attention of, to engross or engage wholly. Suppose there is a student sitting in a class and he is just indulged or he has given full attention to a book, or he is reading a book, and that particular book is very interesting, that he is immersed in that book. So we can say that that particular student has or is absorbed in that book. Let us understand with this example. So absorbed in a book that he did not hear the bell. That means that student is so absorbed, has given the full attention to the book that he didn't hear the bell. Okay. Next, to occupy or fill. Let us understand with this example. This job absorbs all my time. That means here absorb means that this particular job is not giving that person any free time, and the whole time is being taken up by this job, and we can say that the job absorbs all of his time or occupy all of his time of the whole day, that he is not getting enough time to do some other things. To take up or receive by chemical or molecular action. We have already we had done some chemical experiments in our school, so this particular meaning is related to that context only. Let us understand this example. Carbonic acid is formed when water absorbs carbon dioxide. That means, as you know, chemical experiments are those that we are mixing some acids, some bases, some salts, and all, and we are getting some output or we are getting something. So, in that context, we are saying that carbonic acid is formed when water absorbs carbon dioxide. That means water occupies or take in all of the carbon dioxide, then only we can get this carbonic acid. Okay. Next, to take in without echo, recoil, or reflection. Okay. To absorb sound and light, to absorb shock. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are shouting in your neighborhood, so you can't just get the echo because there is no reflection, because your sound has been absorbed by the surrounding. But what happens if you go at the top of the mountain and if you shout from that mountain, you will get an echo, because your voice or your shout, your cry has not been absorbed by the atmosphere there, and it echoed back. Okay. Or let me give you another example. Suppose we used to wear light colored shirts or light colored t-shirt in summer, because the sunlight has been reflected by the light colored material. But what happen if you wear a black colored or dark colored t-shirt or coat in summer? It will absorb, it will not reflect the sunlight, it will absorb the heat, and you will just feel very hot. Okay. Okay.
Now, let us move to some of the synonyms of absorb. They are consume, ingest, swallow, and take in. Let us see some of the antonyms also. They are abstain, disperse, dissipate, distract, eject, and emit. Okay, so that's it for today. And I would like you to write a sentence and post it in the comments below using this particular word. Thank you. So, today's word is abuse. This is one of the important words that we are going to learn in our series. So, let us understand what is the meaning of abuse. Abuse can be used as noun and as verb. As you know, noun is the name of person, place, animal, or thing. So, let us understand what the meaning of abuse in case of noun. Wrong or improper use or misuse. Let's understand with this example the abuse of privileges. Privilege, you can say, is some advantage or some immunity that is given to a person. And if that person is misusing that privilege, we can say that he is abusing that privilege. Let me give you an example. Suppose a medical certificate has been given to a person when he was ill, and whenever or wherever he goes, if he shows that medical certificate, he gets some advantages. But even though he is not ill now and he is healthy, he is showing that medical certificate everywhere and is getting benefit from it. So this is abuse of privilege. Okay, next. Harshly or coarsely insulting language. Okay, we can use this word when we are talking about some insult or some harshly said words. Okay, let us understand with this example. The officer heaped abuse on his men. So here we are talking about a supervisor, and some men are working under him. And if something wrong has been done by some of the men or a particular man, that particular officer just heap abuse on that particular person or some men. So he just insulting them or said harsh word to them. So that means that officer is abusing his men. Okay, next. Bad or improper treatment, maltreatment. So let me give an example. Suppose there is a child and he is just sent to an orphanage at a very early age, and in that orphanage he is subjected to very cruel environment or very cruel treatment. So we can say that the child was subjected to a cruel abuse. Okay, so next part is verb. So let's understand how we can use abuse as verb. So as you already know, verb are those words that describes an action or state or occurrence. Okay, let me give you an important information before moving forward. These meanings, that is these meanings and these meanings, are almost and very much, and actually they are similar because we are talking about the same word only. But when we are talking about or when we are understanding the meaning of that word, that is noun, and when we are using that word, that becomes verb. Okay, so this is the difference between noun and verb. Okay, now let us understand what is the meaning of abuse in case of verb. To use wrongly or improperly, misuse. As you can see, the meaning in case of noun is wrong or improper use, but when we are actually using it, that becomes verb. Okay, let us understand with this example the police officials abuse his power by imposing unnecessary fines on the two-wheeler riders. Normally, nowadays we see we saw that some girls and some boys are not wearing helmets and they don't have even have proper papers. And when police official just check them and find them, they say that he has just abused his power. That is not abusing actually. But suppose there is a boy or there is some person who has helmet on, who has his proper paper completed and proper papers are available, even though the police official find him, even though if the police official find him, we can say that police official abused his power. Okay, next, to treat in a harmful, injurious, or offensive way. This is a very good example here. People who abuse their horses and other animals for work should be punished. You have seen that there are some people who are just constantly hitting their horses so that he can run, or constantly hitting their buffaloes so the buffalo can move. So here we can say that these people are abusing their animals. Okay, because they are treating their animals in a harmful way. Next, to speak insultingly, harshly, and unjustly to or about, divide or malign. We will get back to these words in our later session, but you just understand these words are related to some harshly spoken words or some harsh condition. Suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose there is a lady officer who has just joined, and there are some senior people. I'm talking about some person, those who are narrow minded, and whenever that lady comes up with a new idea or comes up with something creative, these people just said some bad some these people just insult that lady. So that means these higher officials are abusing, these higher officials are abusing that lady. Okay, now let us move to the synonyms and antonyms of this particular word. Some synonyms would be corruption, crime, exploitation, injustice, misconduct, misdeed, misuse, offense, prostitution. As you know, synonyms are those words that are having similar meaning as abuse. Let us come to some antonyms. Antonyms are those words that are having opposite meaning as to the central word. Some antonyms are good deed, kindness, obedience, and goodness. So that's it for today. And I would like you to write a sentence using this word and post it in the comments below. So today's word is academic. Academic can be used as a noun and as adjective. Let us see how we can use academic as noun. As you already know, noun is a name of person, place, animal, or thing. But there is much more than just person, place, animal, or thing. There are some different types of noun, such as proper noun, common noun, abstract noun, and there are some different types of adjective, such as descriptive adjective, quantitative, proper, demonstrative. So these are the types of noun and adjective that you have to learn by yourself. And I'm also thinking of making some small videos on these topics, such as noun, adjective, and verb. So those who are having problem with these topics, they can watch these videos, and then so that they can have a better understanding. So coming back to our topic, that is how we can use academic as noun. Here we are talking about a person who is going to college, or a teacher who is teaching at some college or university. Okay, a student or teacher at a college or university. Next, a person who is academic in background, attitudes, method, etc. So we can also use academic uh, with that person who is having academic background, such as he has done some graduation, some post graduation, who is having academic attitude. That means if we ask something to that person, he thinks and he just gives some sensible solution to that particular problem. If we had asked him, his methods are academic. Okay, so we can use academic with those situations, such as he was by temperament an academic concerned with books and arts. So here we are talking about a person who is concerned with book and arts. Okay. Okay, now let us move on to our next thing, that is how we can use academic as adjective. As you know, adjective are the words that describes a noun. Okay, so let us see. Of or relating to a college, academy, school, or other educational institution. So we are talking about something, or we are talking about some person that is related to a college, academy, school, or something. Okay, or one of the or something. Sometimes we especially refer academic when we are talking about higher education. When we are talking about higher education, such as this example, academic requirements. So normally when you are applying for a particular post, so that particular post have some academic requirement. Suppose if you are applying for a teacher post, if you are applying for teacher post, so that teacher should have masters plus B.Ed. Okay, if you are applying for an engineering post, and suppose the field is software engineering, so you must have B.Tech with CS. Okay, so these are the academic requirements you must have so that you can sit in that particular interview. Okay, next, pertaining to areas of study that are not primarily vocational or applied, such as humanities or pure mathematics. So normally we can use this word academic when we are talking about some subjects or something that is not dealing with practicality, or that is not dealing with practicals. Okay, such as humanities or pure mathematics. Okay, next, theoretical or hypothetical, not practical, realistic, or directly useful. So we can also use academic in case of adjective where we are talking about some subjects or something that is not practical or not realistic, or we can't use those theories in our daily life. Okay, so that are not directly useful. Okay, such as the debate has been largely academic. Debate has been largely academic means that in that debate most of the things are just theoretical and hypothetical, and we can't use those things in our daily life directly. Okay, next, learned or scholarly but lacking in worldliness, common sense, or practicality. So we can also use academic when we are talking about something that, as I have already told you, that is not practical. Not practical. Okay. Okay. Now let us see some of the synonyms and antonyms of this particular word, academic. These are collegiate, intellectual, scholarly, scholastic. Some of the antonyms are ignorant, ordinary, plain, practical, simple, unthought. Okay, so that's it for today, and I would like you to write a sentence using this word and post it in the comments below. Thank you.